So we're looking at a problem now where the first step is to factor out the greatest common factor. That's technically always our first step, but we haven't done that in the past few exercises because there was no greatest common factor. That said, that's always the first thing you should check for, is the greatest common factor. Now, the greatest common factor of 504, our coefficients, is just going to be 4. So we'll factor out that 4. There is no common variable in either term, so that's our only common factor, 4. Our greatest common factor, 4. So 500 divided by 4 is 125 p cubed plus q cubed. And we'll rewrite that as a sum of cubes. 4 times, well, what is 125? What is that a cube of? Well, that's a cube of 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125. So I'll go ahead and make this a bracket instead. And we have 5p cubed plus q cubed. And remember, we're looking at a sum of cubes. This is a formula that you should have memorized, not just for this course, but for any future use. And what that amounts to is that, remember, a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So in this case, our a equals 5p, our b equals q. So we just substitute into our sum of cubes formula. So this ends up equaling 4 times a plus b, so 5p plus q, times a squared, so 5p squared is going to be 25p squared, minus ab, so minus 5p times q, plus b squared, so plus q squared. Our trinomial won't factor in this case. That would be the next thing that we would look for, but in this case it doesn't factor. So really the only thing we have left is to check. And as mentioned previously, you might find it easier to multiply the sum of cubes factor first, then multiply that product by 4. Obviously, that would be the next step. I will leave the check to you, but the setup would be the same as it has been on the previous problems. We'd just multiply the trinomial by the binomial first, and then after you do that, distribute the 4 to verify that our solution checks.